Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Powder Innovation Podcast. My name is Colton, founder of Powder Innovation, and today I'm doing something a little bit different. I've been putting in a lot of work this summer into the Powder Innovation website. I've changed a lot about like the user interface of this site, the contents, how things come across to make it easier to access for you guys. And so I've also worked on a pretty cool side project within Powder Innovation, and I'm really excited to introduce the Innovation Lab to you that would allow users, followers of Powder Innovation to join a new group of skiers and snowboarders that are dedicated to improving the ski industry. So whether it be shred tech, gear tech, storming climate technology, and sustainable solutions. This community was really created for those skiers and snowboarders that are looking to make an impact in the ski industry. And so I want to go through that, but then I also want to kind of take you through the creative process of what I would anticipate some people in this new community to do. I use a lot of AI in my everyday, both in my real job and then doing this podcast as well. It's just something that I've been interested in basically since ChatGPT 3 rolled around and have only seen it get better and better. And now with the new edition of ChatGPT 5, I'm seeing a ton of potential here of how we can disrupt the ski industry and make it better, more accessible, solve a lot of common problems with it. Or at least get it started using AI. And so I kind of want to take you through that creative process as well, kind of show you what my goals for the community are by giving a live example. And so that's where we're at today. That's what I'm hoping to get out of this episode. So I will share my screen. All right. First, I wanted to dive into the new look of the Powder Innovation website. And so as you can see, the logo is new. The layout is new. It's a lot more sleek and a lot more simple. It's something that I've actually set up in ChatGPT to help me with the UX and UI of the site. I've also looked at some of the top brands that are very well respected user interfaces. Airbnb, Barnes and Noble, and Virgin Airlines were all three websites that I kind of took inspiration from that have had a reputation of really good user interface, of a really good user interface and a really good user experience. And so I've used that in tandem with ChatGPT to give me ideas of how I can make this look more sleek. This is what it looks like. You can find recent blog posts, the top podcast episodes, and really it's just a lot more simple. You can still find the blog posts, the interviews and shorts, the merchandise, the about page, and the contact us page. In this menu navigation up ahead here. But the thing that I wanted to introduce today it's called the Innovation Lab. It's something that I've been working on for a while now, and so this is really what I'm hoping to get out of Powder Innovation. I want to create a culture of innovation in the ski industry, and obviously skiing has come a long ways since I've been alive. Really, there has been a lot of progress made in the realm of ski and snowboard manufacturing, in climate and sustainable solutions, in gear, you name it. There's definitely been a lot of innovation, but it seems like there could be more. Skiing is an industry that depends on innovation. You know, winters are getting shorter. There's no denying that as climate change continues to affect our world, our winters are getting shorter. And so there has to be, in my eyes, more diligence to making this happen. All the while, there should be innovations being done in other aspects as well. Like ski boots are still incredibly uncomfortable. That's definitely one of the biggest pain points of skiing. So a lot to do around there. I've highlighted a couple of other areas, like safety is another one. So I plan to release something here soon about helmet technology, but I've covered things from like avalanche beacons, avalanche airbags, a lot of things that have been increasing safety in the backcountry that can also be used for resorts. Really, there's a ton of opportunity in this space for people to be innovative and to build off of what's already being done. And so that's kind of the goal of the Innovation Lab. So to take you through what it is, it's really, think of it almost like a Reddit community where you can join the lab via a group called Powder Innovators. Right now it's just me in here just because this is so new, but basically I want this to be a sounding board for people to throw out their ideas for things that they want to see happen. And the goal is to find people that are curious about things that we can be doing better in the industry and then meeting people with the skills to make it happen. And so I think this would be a great way for people to collaborate on different ideas and then launch them in these different labs. And so currently, if I go back here, there's a shred, gear, and climate lab. Still kind of building out the shred and gear parts of the site, but the climate lab is kind of one thing that I wanted to show you, that I've built out a little bit more. Climate lab is really around the sustainable solutions that people are creating, that I myself have created, a tool actually, and then a link for people who are interested to get more information on some of the top leading companies that are doing things for climate change in the ski industry today. And more than communities, there's also programs here. I'm looking at Good Traveler that allows you to offset your emissions from flights. We have Protect Our Winters, really big one, and then obviously Patagonia too. And they have a subset program called Action Works. And so there's links to all of these that you can find more information, but then I think the coolest thing about this would be for people that are able to collaborate, build something really cool within the powder innovation community, can work with me to embed some of their tools directly into the site. And so I'll shamelessly plug the SNOWPRINT ski emissions calculator and kind of show you a live demo of what this does. So I found a low code, no code, a form generator called tally.so. And so that allowed me to take a lot of research that I've done uh, around emissions and what exactly goes into calculating emissions for a ski trip, and put it into a form that will then automatically calculate the emissions that you produce during like a weekend ski trip, a big week ski trip. Like you can put in the amount of days that you're going to go, the method of transportation, if you're skiing at a resort versus if you're skiing in the backcountry, and it'll spit out the emissions, the estimated emissions that you will spend during that trip, and compare it to, you know, the amount of trees that, or the amount of CO2 that like a tree would absorb in that year. But yeah, let's just go through it and kind of see what it's all about. So one of my favorite places to go skiing, I've gone there since I could walk, basically, is Steamboat Springs. Denver native, so that's about 3 hours away, 300 miles. I always drive, will stay there for the weekend, and I'll usually ski at the resort. And so with that knowledge, I know that I'll drive. I know it's the total round trip distance is about 300 miles. I'll be staying, let's just say for the purpose of this, it'd be one night, or let's do 2 nights for a weekend trip at an Airbnb, rental, or mountain home. That's usually what I do. I'll be skiing at the Steamboat Ski Resort. You can actually select multiple if you're doing something different, or if you're doing multiple methods of skiing. How many days I'll be skiing there? Let's just say 2. And then the month range here is really just kind of a broad way of guessing if snow machines will be running during the day at a resort. And so we'll say it's early season, October through January, so they'll still be making snow. And then if you bought any gear, you only really have to do this once if you're calculating your emissions for like the entire season. But really, let's just say I got new poles, I got new jacket, and I got a new helmet. And so based off of the information that I've given this tool, it spits out that I'll emit 242 kilograms of CO2 just for this weekend, compares it to the amount of carbon dioxide that young trees will absorb in a year. But then it also prompts me to kind of reflect on how my ski trip is going to go towards like the world's climate target of 2.3 tons of CO2, which is 2,300 kilograms of CO2 per year. So 10 weekends of just going to Steamboat and skiing for me would get me to would push me over that threshold, which obviously isn't great. There should be ways to reduce that. And that's kind of like the point of this tool, is to really understand your carbon footprint. Every time you go skiing, you can get a detailed breakdown of the biggest things that are the biggest things that are contributing to your number here. And then once you submit it, you can find more information for how to lower your carbon footprint with every ski trip, and take the pledge to Ski for Change, which that is something that I will plan to be adding on that climate lab here pretty soon, which is really just pledging to make a difference every time you're skiing, whether that be through lowering your carbon footprint, being innovative, and creating new solutions in this space, really just trying to improve skiing and snowboarding and that experience, and making sure that it's more accessible for everybody. That's really what the Ski for Change pledge is going to be. But yep, if I click into how to reduce your skiing carbon footprint, it kind of goes through how to use the ski trip emissions calculator, why carbon emissions matters, and how it relates to climate change. And then 8 proven ways to reduce your carbon footprints. There's plenty of ways that you can do it, and you can use this blog post to help you start. So, all that to say, that is kind of the point of the Innovation Lab. I'm super excited for it. It's going to be, I think it's something that can be really cool, especially as more people start collaborating and using it as a space to bounce ideas off each other. So, definitely join the lab today. Really easy to make an account. You can sign up through Google, or just using your email. I'd be super excited if people started using this. So, as part of the Innovation Lab, I'm already logged in. Let's say I wanted to post an idea that I had. I just bought all of my backcountry setup. I've never really done backcountry skiing before, but it's something that I've wanted to get into for a long time. Just bought all my gear, but I'm not avalanche trained yet. That's something that I'm going to sign up for this winter. But until then, I think it would be super cool to have like a virtual agent or like a guide to tell me to tell me the avalanche danger in a region in Colorado where I'd want to go. Mostly I'd go around like Buffalo Pass or Rabbit Ears Pass and Steamboat, but I'm thinking that this avalanche like agent could kind of tell me based off of different regions outside of those two what the avalanche danger is, give me briefings, things like that. And so first, I think I'll probably put this as an idea. Avalanche agent, I'll just say I think there's a need for more consolidated avalanche reports. As a beginner, it can be difficult to understand all of the different metrics and measurements. It'd be difficult to understand all of the different metrics and measurements that different organizations publish to their websites. I think a potential solution would be to create an avalanche agent that could give me a briefing on the current conditions based on live data and different reports. So I'll publish this. I probably should have added a topic. I'll just go back and edit this real quick. Let's put it in. That'd be kind of, oh, that probably wouldn't be any of these, but let's just for now just put it in Gear Tech. Okay, so first idea fully officially published in the Powder Innovators group. Eventually this can go in one of these different labs, but for now let's focus on creating it before I can potentially put this in the site. So this is what I like to do. I am going to create a new chat. ChatGPT 5 just came out a couple days ago, or probably a couple weeks ago now at this point. I've kind of been playing with it quite a bit, just experimenting with best prompts to give it, but I'm going to do this. I'm going to just copy and paste the idea, but then what I'm going to say is I would like to create this tool using Canvas. Can you give me an optimized prompt to get what I want? Feel free to ask clarifying questions before you give me the prompt. I figured ChatGPT probably knows how to prompt engineer itself the best, so I always like to meta prompt these kind of in the same way. I've just found that it just gives me better outputs if I do this. So there's a couple of different questions that I have to answer. Start with what primary region should it cover first? Let's just say let's do common Colorado backcountry areas. I'm thinking Berthoud Pass near Winter Park and Rabbit Ears Passes near Steamboat and other areas you can think of in Summit County. So let's start with that. Let's go to what activities in scope. Let's just do backcountry only. Must have data sources to start. Yes, it should have data sources to start. Output style should be a briefing that a beginner backcountry skier could understand with additional detailed sections that they could copy and paste to ChatGPT for more information. And then we're going to do 5. Angle threshold. I'll leave it up to you. Units can be imperial. I'm not really sure what aspect row style, so I'm not going to keep it there. But then let's do guardrails. Guardrails, just create a scale of very low to very high avalanche risk. No, no-go, go decision, and always defer to official forecasts and education prompts. Goal is to have this tool lie in innovation website. All right, and this was pretty cool. It does a really great job of giving you an optimized prompt for itself. Surprise, surprise. For those that are not watching on YouTube, what it says is, thanks for the specifics. Below is a ready-to-paste canvas prompt tailored to Colorado backcountry zones, backcountry only use, imperial units, conservative tone, and your website embed goal. It produces a beginner-friendly briefing and detailed sections users can copy and paste into ChatGPT for deeper learning, plus a compact JSON for writing UI later. I also set the default slope angle threshold to 30, which is the standard trigger angle for an avalanche, and use a very low to very high risk scale while always deferring to official forecast. Great. And so it gave me a really cool, really detailed prompt. I won't bore you with reading all of it. It's about 2 pages long. So I am just going to copy and paste this, or I can really just turn on Canvas, which is more Canvas. And so what it does next is pretty amazing. You'll actually be able to see it write the code in real time, but then you'll actually be able to run the code as well, interact with the tool before you actually embed it anywhere. Obviously, I won't put this into the Powder Innovation Lab today. It probably won't be ready. It won't have the necessary components that are going to be needed. I probably want to expand it to different areas, but this is a really good way to get a proof of concept before you put it in any site. So it's still writing, as you can see, but it can create hundreds and hundreds of lines of code in just like a couple of minutes. And so I've tried this out, just trialing it a couple of times, and I've been really amazed with some of the results it's been able to give me. I think for future Powder Innovation blogs, I'll be able to create really cool graphics that are more interactive. I think that it can help me create different tools like this, and can hopefully help users as well, like the Powder Innovation audience, to give you ideas of how to use this. While it's still writing, I probably should mention that this is like the paid version of ChatGPT. It's $20 a month, but something that I think is really worth it. Use it all the time for this purpose mostly, but it's pretty amazing what it can do. So it just created all of this code for me, and then the cooler thing is you can run this code. And so this is the beta version already that I received of this tool. So let's just say, might have to reload this. All right, we're gonna run this code again. So let's just say I want to go to Berthoud Pass. No, let's go to Rabbit Ears. We're gonna just say it's the steamboat and flat tops, standard or detailed. So if you want it more than just beginner and you're a veteran at understanding avalanche forecasts and stuff, you can put that in there. Angle threshold 30, optional notes. We're good here. Seems like it has to do some troubleshooting. Let's see if I can generate any prompt. I'll just say beginner, first season touring. Like to know if it's safe to go on December 20th, 2025. I'll just say interesting. So obviously, yeah, there's quite a bit that still has to be worked on here. I also created a different chat earlier today because I do think that this is a pretty cool idea. It's something that I want to keep tinkering with a little bit. I don't exactly like how this has turned out, but I'm going to check out this one, which I already started creating. So kind of a similar prompt here. We can run this code, and this is kind of what I'm thinking. We'll just do CIC front range, the date that I want to go. Let's just say it was last April. A slope angle 32, above tree line. It's going to be southeast facing. If I read some of the forecast signals but didn't know what it meant like persistent slab, wind slab, storm slab, wet loose, anything that might be there. Recent wind loading, new snow. Could always change this to inches, and actually can generate a brief. So yeah, this brief was very short, obviously, but can tell you where to avoid, what to look out for, where you should be more suspicious of different conditions, and gives you a checklist of things that you need to go. So you can copy this brief, put it in a document, do whatever you want. These are just like two different, these were two different prompts. They obviously created two very different outputs, but both were kind of getting on the right track. I think there's different ways that you can toy with this, but I think like the more important thing is after I get it to a spot where I'm comfortable, connect it to the right sets of information, then I can actually just copy and paste this, put it in to Powder Innovation itself, and then that will be free for all Powder Innovation readers and the audience to use. And so, yeah, that's kind of the goal of the new Innovation Lab. I highly encourage anybody listening to this to sign up. I think it's a super cool idea that we can have a central space for people to collaborate on different ideas. And once things do kind of materialize and something is created and something that we want to publish to the Powder Innovation site, I'm more than happy to work with work with anybody that comes up with something cool. Um, so yeah, that's what I wanted to show you. Thank you guys so much for listening. Obviously today we kind of fully shipped the Pattern Innovation Labs and the community that you can join to throw out your ideas. They don't have to be fully thought out, but the idea behind this is for people to collaborate, to work together to create innovative things in the ski industry. Obviously, you kind of know where my head is at with creating some of these different tools. So if you want to help shape some of the things that I'm creating, I'll probably start with this Avalanche Risk Coach here. There's links to join the community today in the notes. Um, and don't forget to follow Pattern Innovation on Instagram for things like build updates, clips, and calls for different testers for things that I'm creating for that other users are creating. And remember just to build smarter, ski safer, ski smarter. And then I hope to see you guys all in the lab. Thanks.